Hello everyone, Nassim here with Masters Photography. Today we're kicking off our flash photography week. During this week, I will show you the basics of flash photography, including using different types of flashes, on-camera pop-up flashes, and external speed lights to be used both on camera and off camera. Before we talk about different types of flashes and how to use them, let me just talk quickly about the pop-up flash. Now, I personally don't really like the pop-up flashes for various reasons, but the two main important reasons are A, the light itself is very small, and B, it's very direct and harsh, so you might get some ugly shadows on your subjects. However, there are a few cases when pop-up flash can be quite useful. For example, when if you're shooting indoors, you might use a very slow shutter, and what that will do is, and I will explain this a little bit later, in different sync modes, you can set it so that the flash fires in the beginning of the exposure or the end of the exposure, and with slow shutter speeds, the flash freezes the subject, and you can get some okay pictures with your subject in the front, properly illuminated, and your ambient light present in the picture as well. So that's one scenario when you can use it. Another scenario that the pop-up flashes are quite useful for is if you're using external speed light and you only have one speed light, you can, on some of these cameras, especially the semi-professional and professional cameras, the pop-up flashes can be configured as a commander. What the commander does then, when you fire the flash, it will trigger a slave unit. So in my hands I'm holding a Nikon SB900, but some of the cheaper models like Nikon SB600 work for this quite well as well. Lastly, you can use your pop-up flash as fill flash in situations where your subject's face is not lit, or for example, if you're shooting a sunset and the background is properly exposed but your subject is in a silhouette or dark, you can come close to your subject and take a picture. What that will do is it will expose the subject properly through the camera flash, and then the background will also be properly exposed. So a couple of situations here and there where I might actually use the pop-up flash. Now, during this course of the week, you might and you will hear me talk about TTL, and in articles I will also mention the word TTL. What that means is basically through the lens. Think of it as an auto mode for your flash. Now, just to give you a quick idea of how TTL works, TTL is available in a Nikon, Canon, and most other manufacturer DSLRs, but what it does is basically the camera needs to understand first, in order to compute what the flash power should be, whether you're using an on-camera pop-up flash or you're using an external speed light. Whenever you use TTL, the camera needs to fire a pre-flash, and what the pre-flash does, it basically sets the light off the camera to your subject, and then that light bounces back through the lens, and that's why it's called TTL, through the lens back into the camera. And that's how the camera understands what that flash power should be. So whenever you take a picture with the TTL mode, which is a default on most DSLRs, that camera first will flash a pre-flash, or the flash will fire a pre-flash, and then after that it will fire the main flash.